Every single day, you're going to face something that challenges you and you will not know why. Most of the days that you're going to get challenged, you won't see it coming, right? There are the repetitive things that you see on a regular basis that challenge you. But then there's those things that just come unannounced and it kind of shakes you and it lets you know that you're not really as prepared for as you want to be. The bottom line is when something is going to come at you, you got to help allow yourself to have a deeper power. You got to allow yourself to be in a space that you really understand how to have something to lean on because most people don't even realize that there's such an imbalance whenever you go to a gym. Like the boxing gym is one of the only institutes that's left that has absolutely no grounding. The grounding for boxing is absolutely nil. It doesn't exist. And that's where you find the gym business in the boxing world so just totally desolate. Number one, when you go to a doctor, the reason why you can go to that doctor because he's gone to an institute to learn how to do something. I mean, he's mastered the craft. He understands whether it's surgical or no matter what it is, whether he's just putting you back together physically or if a doctor is putting you back together mentally. He's gotten the information from an institute. When you go to an airport, if you're flying out of town, whenever you get on that airplane, the person who's flying that plane has to have a license, and that license has to have aviation on it. He has to have applied X number of hours in order to operate that plane. If he gets into any trouble, he has an institute to refer back to because he's been educated. So he has something to fall back on. If you go into any world of when you go into a courtroom and you need somebody to defend, whether it's a ticket, whether it's something that you have to deal with, whether it's financial, whatever, you can go get a lawyer. You get divorced, you go get a lawyer. But the reason why that you can go get that lawyer is because the lawyer has been educated at an institute, a university. Each and every practice that you go to, chiropractor, educated. Anywhere you go, every professional that you stand in front of has to be educated, especially those who have life and death scenarios front and center. This is the United States. They don't play around with liability. But let's take a look at the boxing world. In boxing, a coach goes for a certification over the course of a weekend. He takes his licensing test, level one, level two, level three, level four, whatever. Boom. That's it. Put in some hours. Now you can be a coach. And you have absolutely nothing to refer to. Nobody to say, okay, now you got a boxing gym. There's absolutely nothing to refer to run a boxing gym. When you go to marketing companies, you say, how many boxing gyms have you worked with? They say none. Marketing firms don't even touch it. Why? Because it's a grease fire. It's too much to handle before they even get going. The operation is based on a guy who just wanted to save a bunch of kids. He didn't understand how to run a business. He hardly had a father at home. So he didn't have the kind of mentorship to give him the kind of business cachet to do this. But herein lies all of these boxing gyms are all up around the country and they don't have anything to lean on to. They learned some stuff from the guy who coached them. That guy had 11 fights in the Golden Gloves, and he was friends with Sugar Ray Leonard's grandfather. That's the story you hear all the time. It's disguised by association, but it's never, oh yeah, I went and learned how to actually design a training program, a training system. That's why you don't see a lot of people who are professional fighters operating as trainers because they never knew how to actually do it themselves. And that's for the most part across the board in boxing. No programming, no understanding how to run business. And then now you run into this, but this is the most dangerous sport with 13 plus people dying a year. But there's no training systems that help this kid truly understand the principles of boxing. Boxing is supposed to be a sport, even though you don't play boxing. Don't you see a dilemma here? And that's one of the main reasons that you see a lot of gyms struggling. That's why you see a lot of the gyms that you go to not having flourishing boxing, competitive boxing programs. And if they do have a good competitive boxing program, they don't truly have a serious fitness component. I mean, they show you kind of what they do with their fighters, but not an actual training for fitness for people who need to learn how to get fit, just applying boxing, not becoming a boxer. And that is because we never had an institution. And the fact that we don't have an institution, people are left to figure it out on their own until there was the school of boxing, top trainer programming, understanding the biggest problem and the pinkest elephant in the room being unattended and being left to be figured out on its own. This is not cool. This is not kosher. And so we had to take a step and do something about it. And so using education to further along a trainer's awareness and understanding on how to become a real trainer, stop operating out of the head and understand program structure, progressive ladder development of their clients. These are the things that we literally have started to focus on for the past 12 years. And this is just way overdue. There should be no professional that does not have a grassroots place to learn how to run a functional business, grow it, have a competitive program, build it, make champions, transition guys into the pros, and scale businesses to second and third gyms. That should just be process. So that's why we ended up developing the School of Boxing. We developed the process. And that's why I started this by saying there are going to be things that you run into, but you should always have an institute to reflect back to and to refer back to. And now you do. So just remember, keep things on its base and put yourself in a place that actually can take you to that next level. And that's the keys of life: process and principles and persistence. Stay persistent, have a process, and stick to the principles, and you'll be fine. Coach Bradley signing out. Be blessed. And no matter what you do, if you're out there and you're all alone right now and you don't want to be all alone and you want to have an institute to refer back to, go down to the description. I've placed the link down below, or you can simply type the word school and gravitate and get some base beneath your feet and be blessed at Godspeed. Peace.